सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
The miseries of material existence and the most hopeless conditions of life is the best possible opportunity to turn to God.
You're listening to Bare Knuckle Bhakti Shorties on the Bhakti Recovery Podcast with Jiva G, coming at you every Monday with a little spiritual something. Good morning, friends. It is sunny, finally. I cannot believe it. I think record-breaking rain in Germany for the last 3 weeks. Non-stop, literally non-stop. There hasn't been a day where it not has been raining. And I can't believe that it's sunny now. It's beautiful weather. There's a cool breeze, the sun's shining, and that definitely changes one's mood. How important that is. How important that is. Not only physically, spiritually, but also emotionally. And reflecting on that this too shall pass. The sunny days are beautiful and we welcome them after rain. But those two also shall pass. The sunny days shall pass and then there will come rain again. It's always, and this is the thing about attachments. We could be attached to the negative. Oh, it's raining. Yeah, I knew it. Life just sucks. It's just raining. Why don't I live in the Bahamas? Why don't I want to live here? Why do I have to me, inconveniencing me? Then it's sunny and you forget about all those gripes and go, oh, it's so beautiful here. I'm so grateful and so lucky. And that's the pendulum, my dears. And I struggle with that pendulum. I'm very aware of that pendulum. I'm also very aware. See, this is the thing. I have to be careful. And I don't want to be. I don't want to be careful about being happy. I want to be happy and I want to be able to enjoy it. I don't know about you guys, but I am sick and tired of dualistic views. This is good, this is bad. It's sunny, it's raining. I like it, I don't like it. Because once I start deciding that something's good or something's bad, once I start labeling that, and not only labeling it, but having feelings. I mean, we have to label things to a certain degree, but once I start labeling it and having, getting emotionally involved in that label, I enter duplicity. And then the pendulum is there, especially for people like myself, where emotional regulation has been a challenge my whole life. And, I'm older now, so I don't get this euphoric thing anymore. Like, oh my God, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. I don't have that. And I'm actually glad I don't. But I'd like to live somewhere in the middle. Not having these extreme attachments to my own emotional involvement of naming something. Good, bad. Does that make sense, people? I guess what I'm saying is spiritual, emotional, mental regulation. And the word in German is ausgeglichen, which means, I can't remember in English. Jesus. To be even keeled. Not so much tilting from one side to the next. Yeah. You know what happens when we become attached to certain attributes that we have? Intelligence, connection with, even my connection with God sometimes. And I see it, like spiritual arrogance, intelligent arrogance, intellectual arrogance. That's also being attached to something that we identify ourselves with. I'd spoken with a gentleman who lives in Frankfurt. Don't know him, but he is an historian, especially a historian on Middle East relations and history of the Middle East. And I saw how much his own personal feelings, arrogance, superiority played a role in how he was speaking about things. It was really interesting to watch and to listen. And I just listened to him. I didn't say anything. He had said some things that were very unkind, especially he started tearing into Berlin. I never met this man, but just somebody connected me with him so that I could ask some questions, just some historical questions. And he had asked me where I lived, and told him I was in Munich and that I was moving to Berlin. And he just started going on a tangent about how horrible Berlin is and what a despicable, disgusting place it is. And I just thought to myself, Jesus, buddy, I never even met you, and I'm already insecure about, I don't think I need to hear this. But I didn't take it personally. I just saw his disdain and his resentments. And if I don't have a spiritual solution to those kind of things, I'm going to stay in those feelings of disdain and resentment. And while he had so many interesting things to say, his personal opinions tainted. And I'm not saying that to point my finger, because that happens to us all. But it's very interesting watching it with somebody else, especially people who don't have a program or who don't have God in their lives. It goes over, everything goes through the intellect. And I think all of us are geared towards that. And it's such a good reminder that what I felt about him is something that I felt about, that I may have the tendencies to do as well. And how I don't want to have that kind of mind frame. I mean, I'm not an intellect anyway, so I don't need to worry about having intellectual arrogance or disdain for people who aren't intellectual. I don't need to worry about that. But I do tend to take a certain stance. And the moment that stance is out of the realms of Krishna consciousness, God consciousness, then I'm really toying with a letdown. I'm toying with all kinds of material energies. And that's not where I want to be. So what is the answer? What is the solution? Well, for me, the very first solution is being completely aware. If we're not aware, there's nothing that we can do to change. If we're not aware, there's nothing that we can do at all, actually, except for continue the behavior which is damaging. And so what I really wanted to say is, it's not about this man who I spoke with. It's not about Sally, Fred, or whoever. It's not about people, it's really about reflecting my relationship with God. So when I see people, and when I see having character defects, when I see my own character defects, I'm able to use those character defects from someone else and reflect it upon how much of that holds true for me, how much of that do I do, and try and keep it centered on me. You know, I used to hear a lot of times, I mean, we've all heard this, anything that you see in someone else that you don't like, it's something that you see in yourself that you don't like. I don't 100% agree with it, but 99% I agree with it, because there are smaller nuances within that. I don't know, people. That's just kind of where I'm at right now. Today, just wanted to share with you, today is the big day of the move. Well, it's not the move, sorry. Rewind. Today the container's coming, which means we're throwing away everything that we don't want anymore, that we don't need anymore. And it is freeing and liberating. Getting rid of everything and starting fresh with very little possessions, just the necessities. And that is a really nice place to start. It's the wreckage of the past. It's the things in the past that I'm holding on to. It could be just a closet, a cabinet, papers, all these things. And I really, 98% of the things I'm not attached to. There are a couple little things that I still want to have, like the pictures, all the photos that I have, and a couple little things from Dexter as a baby. Otherwise, it can all go, all of it. You know, and I said before, oh, that's a freeing feeling. I don't know if it's a freeing feeling, but it just feels right. I don't have too many feelings about it. I just know that that's the right thing to do. And it's nice not to be cluttered. My mind is cluttered. I don't need clutter on the outside of me. Inside, there's a lot of clutter. And the thing is, I can do as many 4 steps as I want, as many 10 steps as I want, but there's always going to be new clutter there, because not only is my program not static, I'm not static. I change, my program changes, the way I understand God changes. Wait a second, actually, the way I understand never changes, the way I understand God. So that is interesting. It's sometimes I have to say things out loud and then realize it's not true. So God, I'm sorry I'm all over the place, guys. I'm just talking about what's going on with me. And this is actually beautiful. This is some of the thoughts that I've had, and a conversation that I had actually lately about God, of my understanding. Before I hit Krishna consciousness, my understanding of God was a very deep understanding. It didn't have much to do with the intellect. It was a deep faith. That's all I can say about it. And when I entered Krishna consciousness, it didn't change. If I go to a Catholic church, I'm still speaking to the same God. If I go to a synagogue, I still have the same connection to God. If I'm at a temple, that connection is the same connection. So my deep understanding, my fundamental, unintelligent, not intellectual understanding of God never changes. But maybe the understanding intellectually changes. And like I said, it's not static. My intellect is not static. My understanding of things is not static, based on the experience. Winding back to the conversation that I had with this guy who despises Berlin. Even his facts are tainted from his own experience. For whatever reason, he hates Berlin. He hates the communism. He hates the Arabs there. He hates the politics. Thinks the city's disgusting. Those are just all his outside things. But he's not a spiritual person, so I can't, I don't blame him for anything. But it's just really interesting how I can go there too. How I can fall in the trap of, this is this, I'm labeling this as this, and this is that, and this is the emotions that I'm investing in this label. What a freaking waste of time. What a waste of time. Letting go of the past, being open, not decided, but being open for what is coming today, tomorrow, without judgment, without preconceived notions, without emotional investment. Emotional investment to a situation like that can only put me back on that pendulum. I don't want to be emotionally invested in a place that I'm moving to. I'm already emotionally invested here. I freaking love the woods. It's going to be the hardest thing one of the hardest attachments to let go of. And it's not a negative attachment. It's probably helps me physiologically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally to be in the woods every day. But there's woods 15 minutes from my house. I can go there too. In Berlin. Doesn't have to be these woods. It's not like these woods are special magic. Or maybe they are and I don't know. Anyway, as you hear, I'm kind of within one topic but all over the place. But these are the thoughts that go through my head, and I thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to this. This is actually more helpful to me than it is to you, probably. Or maybe both, who knows? But it's very helpful. It's helpful. Just knowing that that I'm able to just speak. You know what? And I'm not afraid of judgment. If you want to judge me, go for it. As Tupac said, only God could judge me. And actually, only I can judge me. And I'm my worst judge. There's not a damn thing you can say to me more hateful than I can say to myself at times. Which is, yeah, this is a sad truth. You know what? The thing is, the one thing that don't think that I'm ever going to do is become some sort of feel like some sort of, I don't know, like this, I have this responsibility to everybody to always be hopeful, to always be this and that, and to spread that word. And while, yes, it's very helpful, it's also really helpful to say, hey guys, like I do, I'm vulnerable right now. I'm not feeling good right now. I'm crumbling right now. Although that's not the case today, thank God. Acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. Acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. Anyway, my good friends, thank you for listening. I think I'm done. I hope some of this was helpful. And I thank you again. I love you all. Oh, by the by, if you guys are interested in chairing a Bhakti Recovery Group meeting, our chief chairperson, Miss Lauren, is going to give sort of a support talk about how one chairs a Bhakti Recovery Group meeting and just to sort of take the hesitation or the fear away from people who'd like to chair but feel they're not qualified or whatever, all that stuff that we can tell ourselves. So on August 3rd, Miss Lauren will be giving us some support, some information about how we do that. The phone was ringing. I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh, right, Lauren. So, Lauren's giving us a class. Well, it's not really a class, but it's a support hour and a half or so of how to chair a BRG meeting and do service and give back to our community that gives so much. Thank you, Lauren, for your contribution and your service. I'm so grateful to have a bunch of people who vibe with the Bhakti Recovery Group. It's such a great group. And yeah. And if you'd like to make a contribution, even if you don't join us, but your contribution really will help. And if I'm helping somebody and you decide you'd like to give a little bit back, it would be really fantastic. Just go to bhaktirecoverygroup.com and go to the donations button. You'll see it. It's like a little bag. You just press that, and you can do it either via Wise or via PayPal. We appreciate everything, every dime. It helps us really continue our mission. All right? Pray for me, guys. The move is coming. With or without me. Haribol. Thanks for listening. I hope you liked the Monday Shorties. Don't forget to check out our full-length episodes on Thursdays. If you like what you heard, spread the word. Peace out.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
The miseries of material existence and the most hopeless conditions of life is the best possible opportunity to turn to God.